guys, it's Siffa. I'm gonna do a strange facts about Siffa video. I got this idea from Depression to Expression Scott, so yeah, just wanted to give him a little shout out here. I hope you don't mind me stealing your idea. It's all in good fun. So yeah, I'm just gonna go over some facts that you guys might not know about me that are kind of different. So the first one is that I have been a vegetarian for about 13 years now. I started when I was a child, and my parents were very against it. They were very not happy with it, and they fed me cheese, like blocks of cheese and bread, and I gained like 20 pounds in like a month. It was a nightmare. And finally I figured out how to eat, you know, and I did fine, but yeah, so that's fun. I'm Finnish. My family is from Finland. Well, my grandfather's from Finland, so that's like my main heritage is Finnish. I have a Finnish name, and which is actually why I don't share my name on YouTube, is because my real name is very uncommon, and there's only like one person. I'm like the only person in like the entire country with my name. So it's not because I'm a weirdo and don't want you guys to know my name, but it's just because my name is really uncommon. And, so that's why I just go by Siffa. And I've always gone by Siffa, honestly. I don't really, you know, a lot of people in my real life call me Siffa, so that's about that. Yeah, we know our family in Finland. We've been to visit them. They come visit us. So yeah, it's, there's that. Also, this is really weird, okay? So, one time when I was, this is number 3, by the way, number 3 fact. One time when I was probably around 12 years old, I was on my grandmother's ranch in New Mexico, and her ranch has Indian ruins on it. Like old Indian ruins. And my brother and I were digging for pottery, and we actually dug up a dead body. And it was a Native American. Like, I think it was a not an Aztec, but I don't remember. Apache. I think it was an Apache. And so my parents are archaeologists, or they were archaeologists, and so they could identify the bones, and you know, actually we had dug up a dead body, and so we put them back and buried it with some nice pottery and put stones to mark the grave. So then we said some prayers or whatever. We just gave a little ceremony so that we wouldn't be, you know, like haunted or whatever. So yeah, there's that. I've traveled. This is number 4. I've traveled a lot, and I don't like to talk about it a lot because I don't want to feel like I'm bragging, and I feel like I'm bragging when I talk about my traveling. But I guess it is something interesting. So I started traveling. I've traveled my whole life, but we started going overseas when I was probably like, I don't know, 14, 15. So we went to France. No, first we went to Italy, then we went to France. Then we went to Canada and Mexico, obviously, all over the Caribbean, all over Canada, Montreal, Nova Scotia, Quebec. We went to Japan when I was 17, which is when I was really getting into Lolita and Japanese fashion. Then we went to Egypt. This was right before the revolution there, so we got in like right before the revolution. Then I've been to Peru. That was last summer. I went to Peru, and I think that's. I know I'm missing something. I know, but yeah, I mean, my mother travels. She's retired. My parents are older, so she travels everywhere. She goes all over the world. And so sometimes I go with her, but the time lag and the jet lag is very hard on me with my medication, so I don't go a lot with her. So okay, number 5, I think. When I was 11, I read the first 4 Harry Potter books 19 times each. I was like obsessed. It was really bad. And it was like my life. You know, it's all that I did. It was like all that I talked about. It was like I was obsessed with it. And I think that's almost like pathological, like mentally weird in some ways. But I'm still obsessed with Harry Potter. I don't read the books anymore, and I'm not really the biggest fan of the movies, but I like the movies, but I don't like obsessively watch them or anything. But I used to be number 2 in World Trivia on MuggleNet. And for book 7, I was number 2 in World Trivia. Number 6, I think. I used to be a fairly successful model. I don't know if, I'm sure you guys have seen my modeling pictures. I use them in my thumbnails a lot, on my YouTube videos. My modeling pictures. And I did that for maybe 2.5 years. I did it, my first year I did all, like, TFP shoots, which means I just modeled for free. And then my second year I was paid to model. And, so that was definitely fun. It was great. The reason I had to quit is because I was in a really bad crash, like a car crash. And I was injured pretty severely, and so I just didn't feel, well enough to model for about a year. I was in chronic pain for about a year, and I just could not model anymore. So that's kind of why I quit. But, so I have a degree, number 7, I think. I have a degree in psychology and a degree in creative writing, and I'm currently in graduate school, studying to be a counselor. So that's what I'm doing right now with my life. I'm also, I think number 8 now. I practice shamanism, and it's a ancient religion or, like, practice that I do, and it's basically where you enter the spirit world, which is like a non-ordinary reality, and you talk to spirits and spirit animals, and you get help from them and use this help in real life. So that's a really, really quick and kind of bad explanation of shamanism, but I have other videos about it, but so that's my, like, weird, you know, religious stuff, and my goal is to be a shamanic practitioner and a therapist kind of combined. So I'm going to do therapy and shamanism at the same time. So that's my dream. I have a few more. I am bisexual. I have dated men and women, but I am mostly heteroflexible, which means that I prefer men, but I do like some women. So, there's that. Something kind of funny is that you guys know I've been in the psych ward, right? Obviously, but I've actually, like, met people in the psych ward and then dated them, like, when we got out. Like, one time I was actually kicked out of the psych ward and moved in with this woman and was, like, dating this girl that I met, and then she actually got deported to Mexico because she was, like, I don't think she was a citizen, I don't know, but I know she was from Mexico and she was in the psych ward. And then she got deported, so that's really funny. I mean, it's kind of sad, but in some ways it's kind of funny. But, because she was, like, very, you know, weird. I speak some French. It's hard for me to speak it out loud, because I get really nervous, but I can write it, and I can read it pretty well enough. I grew up in Lafayette, Louisiana, and New Orleans, and so they really emphasize speaking and learning French here because it is, like, a very French-influenced city, and South Louisiana is, like, very French. We have a lot of French people here, a lot of Acadians here, Cajuns, and so a lot of people speak some French here. It's pretty common. So the last one I'm going to talk about is one that is kind of really personal, and I'm just beginning to open up about on YouTube and to my friends and family. Well, my friends and family knew, but I haven't talked about it on YouTube because I wasn't sure if I wanted to or not, but I think I am going to at this point, and I will make a whole video about it at some point, but I'm just kind of putting it out there right now. I was a cam girl, which is basically like an online sex worker. Now, the extent of what I didn't really go very far because I am actually a pretty modest person when it comes to intimacy and sexuality. I'm very kind of old-fashioned and modest. So for me to be a cam girl was totally out of my comfort zone. Although it was fun, it was just not something that was for me. And I will make another video about this because it's something that I feel like I need to talk about and give people advice about. So, yeah, so I think those are my weird facts. yeah, so thank you guys. Thanks, Scott. Okay, bye.